What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with another DanChro video. Now, the other day we did a whole video on the new banners and all of the stuff dropping, and someone brought up a really interesting question. They say, what do you do with bonds once you've maxed out a unit? So, case in point, if we go over here to upgrade, and now none of my URs are maxed out, but we're getting pretty close here on this bell, right? If I go in here to awaken, you know, I'm really, really close to having it maxed out. In fact, if I used these permanent bonds to be maxed, I'm saving those for a time-limited unit at some point. Honestly, I'm just going to hoard those until I can max somebody on the time-limited scale. It's a thing. But let's say this unit were completely maxed out, and I'm still collecting bonds. I'm still getting bonds in him. What do you do with those bonds? Well, in the olden pre-ability board days, you just sell them, right? You just sell them, and that would be that. But let's go ahead and grab a unit here. This SR bell that everybody has maxed out pretty much. But I'm still collecting bonds of this dude, right? So if we go to Awaken, character's maxed out. But bond-wise, I still have tons of his bonds. I have like 30-something of his bonds. So at some point, what do you do with those bonds? Well, obviously, like I got to level up this unit. We can limit break him, whatever. But that doesn't really solve the bond problem. However, if I go down here to ability board, now we're all pretty much familiar with this as it is now. Like, you could buy these items, upgrade these units, etc., etc. But this kind of becomes a huge question mark with how limited these items are. What are you going to do when it comes to your SRs and your SSRs and things like that? Well, both of these problems are solved with the same situation here. If I go over to the bond tab, you can see I have 38 of those bell bonds. And I can actually unlock ability boards with those bell bonds. So a lot of your SRs and SSRs and stuff like that, actually, you could probably max a whole bunch of these units out pretty quick. So let's see. I don't know which one I want, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to unlock one and just see where it goes. I'm not worried about it. We're going to get enough of these bonds. It's not going to be a big deal. Pretty soon we'll be back to selling them anyway. It just is what it is. So let's go ahead and so we have 30 of those bonds. We can't unlock this one yet, probably because he's not a high enough level. But we can go down here and unlock this. So while with your SSRs, or I'm sorry, with your URs, you're probably not likely to, to be able to do this. But with a lot of your SSRs and your SRs especially, most people are probably going to have a ton of these things that they can unlock. Now, the real question here, if you didn't know, when it comes to your ability board things here, when you spend those items, you can actually remove some of these evolutions and kind of remove those attributes. Now, the question becomes, can we do that once we spend bonds? Now, there is a remove button here, and I don't know if it works. So let's find out together. So let's see. So we had 38, and then we had 36. So we should have 34 now. So, we still have 26. So equip. So essentially, okay. So you can't actually remove it. It just unequips it, so you don't actually get the items back. But still, I mean, they're bonds. Like, they're not going anywhere. These you're not using these otherwise. So essentially, that is the answer to the question. Quick, dirty, and straightforward. When you've got some of these SSR units, especially, and SRs especially, like look this Tione. Let's see. Let's go to Awaken. So once I have her awakened here, this is her final level. She's all 5 stars, and I still have bonds chilling of her. So I just come down here to ability board and I start basically filling all this in. And that way I don't have to spend a lot of my my really rare items that I want to really save for my URs. I can save those for my, or I can put the ability board stuff into my SSRs and SRs without ever having to use those really I say expensive, but limited items. So that's pretty much that. Like, there's not a whole lot more discussion that we really need to have on this. So when it comes to your overstock units, that's a blessing right now. Plus, a lot of you guys are going to be like, well, I have like these SRs and SSRs, and now the bonds are done. I've used them all up. Now, can I sell them? I wouldn't if I were you, because at some point in the near future, in fact, I would bet, we're going to get an extension to this ability board. There's no way that this is all that we're getting. I'm sure this is going to be extended far into the future. So I would still hold on to those bonds. I would wait and, maybe sell those later on down the road. But that's pretty much that. That's what you do with bonds. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, share, and I'll be back with more DanChro coming up for you guys here real soon.